Anyway, so we're going to move on to Sunday. Sunday was a cool time. We were at Eagle Oaks, and this bride was unique. This bride had a real eclectic taste, right? They were cool people. They liked regular stuff, right? And they just didn't want any like too hard hip hop, but everything else was cool. I did EDM, I did a little bit oldies, everything, right? We played a little bit of everything all night. And one thing that came up in their meeting was that they were into metal music. And I've talked about this before, I try and ask really specific questions in my meetings with couples because couples oftentimes are reluctant to tell you the whole truth when it comes to like their musical tastes and everything because they think that it won't work at their wedding. They're afraid that like if they played the stuff they truly liked, nobody will dance, they'll have a boring wedding, so they're willing to compromise. Okay, play the regular wedding stuff because we just want everybody to have a good time. They want to play it safe. And I get that. But that's why it's very, very important for us wedding DJs to kind of pry, to kind of like dig a little deeper and just ask them, just out of curiosity, what do you listen to when you work out? What do you listen to? And sometimes they'll say, oh, well, I don't know. I'm not real. I mean, not anything that's relevant to the wedding, Yeah, I know it's not relevant. I just wonder, what do you listen to? Like just dig a little deeper. Just ask them. Just say, I'm just wondering. Just curious, out of curiosity, right? So I did this with this couple, and they mentioned that they like metal. I'm like, oh, sweet. Like, what kind of metal, right? Because I'm also into metal. And, they mentioned a couple bands, and they mentioned this one band in particular, We Came as Romans. We Came as Romans is a metalcore band. They've been around for, 7-8 years. Metalcore is a combination of like breakdowns and then like clean vocal singing. So it's kind of like emo type clean vocal singing and then like really hard breakdowns and riffs, essentially. It was really popular in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. Like that's when it like became prominent and, it's kind of been around ever since. But that was like its heyday, I guess. So they're a band from that era. And they mentioned, We Came as Romans. I actually had tickets. I have tickets to see them actually next week. I'm going to go to their concert. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I love them, blah, blah, blah. And we were talking. It's like, yeah, like that To Plant a Seed album. They mentioned the album's like my favorite album. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, well, and I told him, I was like, if there's any way I can pull it off, I'll do it. I promise. And they're like, oh, well, no, it's cool. Like, it's cool. You don't have to like play anything all, it's okay. No, maybe, but like not, they were really nervous about it, straight up. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I understand. But now, like, it's my life's goal, right? Now my life's goal is to play a breakdown at this wedding. If I can make it work, if the timing is right, like, this is what I want to do. I want to make this, like, I want to play a breakdown at this wedding in the worst way. Like, I want to do this. So I had it in the back of my head the entire time. Now, this is what I was thinking. Number one, I had to do it later on because people had to have been drunk. Obviously, okay, I can't do this early. All right, you wait till you hear it. It's heavy. It's heavy shit. So, it had to be done later on. And they picked this one particular song by The Fall of Troy, I believe. I wasn't too familiar with the song, but it was a song by The Fall of Troy, which is also kind of like a harder rock band, but they're not like metal. They're not like hard. But they're, like a harder kind of alternative rock band from like that same era, right? Just not as hard as the We Came as Romans stuff I was just talking about. So my thought was, if the opportunity was there, I'll play that song that's on their list. And if that works, then I'll make the big risk. I'll risk it for the biscuit and drop this breakdown. Now, I got to the wedding, and there's a couple people there that looked like they were like, there was this one dude who looked like the lead singer to Hawthorne Heights, straight up, like with the hair, super emo looking. A couple other dudes, you could tell like they were in bands or they're in bands. Like they were all wearing all black, piercings, tats, pale black hair, all of them, right? There was like probably 7 or 8 of these dudes. So I'm like, okay, these dudes would throw down to a breakdown, I feel like, right? So that was clue number one. So then, I'm playing regular stuff. I'm mixing in alternate stuff, basic, Blink-182, everything else, right? And then, so at the end, I made it a point to get into another rock set. And then I was like 2 rock songs deep. And then, all right, screw it. I'll play this Fall of Troy song. I had a backup, okay? I was going to go to All I Do Is Win. All I Do Is Win if the Fall of Troy didn't work, right? And then I was going to do like almost like a troll at the end of that, like, put your hands up and drop something else and then go into the last song and then keep it pushing, right? That was my backup plan. So I played the Fall of Troy, and at first they were like, what? And then like, oh shit. And then they were all kind of like dancing and kind of moshing to it, right? And having a good time. And the bride was liking it, right? And everyone was kind of going along with it. It was like all kind of having fun. So I was like, all right, it's now or never. Let's see if this shit works. And then I dropped it. Right? Never in a million years have I dropped anything like that at a wedding, right? Always wanted to because I like this stuff. This is the kind of stuff I like, I work out to. You know what I mean? If you're not into it, then you're probably appalled right now. But, you know. It's good stuff, okay? And it's not like devil worshiping music. These people, if you really look at lyrics when it comes to the SCREAMO stuff, do me a favor, okay? If you're judging SCREAMO music, okay, I want you to go on Apple Music. I want you to bring up We Came as Romans or any SCREAMO band, and I want you to read along the lyrics through the song. And you'll see that every scream they do is an actual lyric. It's actually really interesting. They're really screaming really good lyrics. Like, so it's actually, it's not just screaming. There's content involved, right? But anyway, I pulled it off and it worked. And you could see, even in the clip, like you could see that the bride was jumping around and having a good time and everything. I got a DM afterwards. She said, thank you so much already. Everyone can't stop talking about how great you were, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe everybody was dancing all night. I'm like, what do you mean you can't believe it? I'm like, damn, you had low expectations. Was it because it was a Sunday? Or was it because you thought I sucked? Anyway, thank you so much for the songs at the end. That was when it really got crazy, right? So she mentioned that, right? And it was like a big thing. And I think that my whole point of this is just to show you guys that like anything could work at a wedding, and to dig deeper, okay? When you're talking to these couples, dig deeper, ask more prying questions, get this stuff out of them. And it doesn't work out all the time. There's been a bunch of times where like I wanted to drop a song that would have been like out of nowhere, kind of like that, in all kinds of different genres, maybe super hard hip hop or super hard EDM, but like it just didn't work out. I didn't have the right opportunity and I didn't risk it for the biscuit, right? But like, ask those questions and keep those in you know, in the bullpen or whatever, you know, just in case. Because if you can pull it off and you can drop something that pretty much no other DJ would have the balls to drop and make it work, then you're going to be a hero. It's going to stick out. And especially if you do it at the end, because like people always remember the beginnings and the ends. That's why, you know, it's like a psychological thing. So that's why it's always important to have a great thing in the beginning, start it out right, you know what I mean? And then also have a great thing at the end and end it right. That's what people, you know, like remember. So you definitely want to do this. This is what's going to set you apart, you know? And just so you know what I did. So this was the album. It was We Came as Romans to Plant a Seed, in case you're wondering about the song or whatever. But what I did was, after I played that breakdown, I actually literally played 2.5 minutes of the song, and then it came like to this kind of slow part where I wanted to echo it out. I echoed it out. I went right into the last song after that, and that was it. So like it was like a 2.5 minutes of like some of the guests I'm sure were like, holy shit, what's happening, right? But then we went into the last song, ended like crazy. All those metal dudes were coming up to me like, holy shit. The groom came up to me and was like, bro, I can't believe you did it. Like, thank you so much. Like, it was the greatest night of my life. That's literally what he said. And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So just dig deeper, DJs. It's very, 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 very important.